Hey, this is Daryl Henry, and this video is Understanding Workers' Compensation for Intellectually and Developmentally Disabled Service Providers. I'm going to walk you through what is workers' compensation, the common class codes, the support services you should be looking for in your workers' compensation company, common claims, and how to get the best deal. All right, so let's start with what is workers' compensation insurance? Workers' comp pays for on the job injuries for paid employees. It's also going to pay for uninsured subcontractors, whether you like it or not. So I find very commonly with in home support providers or home health agencies, they will hire contractors. And those contractors want to have the flexibility to work at multiple agencies. Well, the problem is those independent contractors don't have workers' compensation on themselves. And so when you come up for an audit at the end of the year on your workers' compensation insurance, the amount of money that you pay them is going to end up as payroll on your workers' compensation policy. It's an important thing to keep in mind as you're setting up your program. Now let's go through the common class codes I see with service providers. I'm going to list them off and talk through some of their applications. First, 8835, home health care. There's a lot of service providers that the extent of what they do is go into a family's home and provide support services. It looks a lot like home health for seniors, except it's for people with disabilities and families with disabilities. The second class code is 8842, group home. This class code is for people that live and work inside of a group home for individuals with needs. The third one that I see commonly is 8864, social service. These employees are folks that work in community support programs, maybe some case management, maybe some respite care, maybe some in home support services. But the idea is that they're providing support. They're not necessarily going to somebody's home real often, but they're not working full time in the home. It's that middle ground. That's where you can see 8864. Another place you'll see it is with sheltered workshops. That's another very common place. The fourth class code you'll see is 8810, which is clerical. These are people that work only in the office. They do not have any interaction with clients. Otherwise, they're going to end up in one of those other class codes that I just listed off. They only work in the office. Maybe it's the accountant, the marketing person, the volunteer coordinator, but they go to the office. They never leave. They don't interact directly with clients. And the fifth one is 8868, and this is for some adult daycare operations. If you have people that only work an adult day, 8868 applies. So it's really important to make sure you've got your employees in the correct classification. Otherwise, you might end up paying too much money for workers' compensation insurance. So the fourth thing you should understand about workers' comp is you should be looking for support services from your insurance company, especially as you start to grow. There's three ways you should be looking for it. You should be looking for risk control, a company that can send someone out, help you think through lifting and preventing slip and fall so that you don't have unnecessary claims. Claims are a problem for the insurance company. They're also a problem for you because anytime you have a claim, you are managing that situation. You're talking to claims adjusters, figuring out how to get the person back to work. You're changing work schedules. You're changing service plans. It's very difficult. Your life is better if you just don't have claims, right? You also want a company that can help you set up return to work. A return to work program is helping an employee get back to work so they spend less time off the job. This is good for you. It's good for the employee and the insurance company. It reduces the amount of money that's paid out in wages in a workers' comp claim, but it's just better for the mental health of the employee if they can get back to work sooner, and it's better for you to get them back to work sooner. And also nurse triage so that people can get the attention they need as soon as possible. So if maybe they tweak their backs, they can talk to somebody that can tell them if they should go talk to a doctor. Fifth thing that you should understand about workers' comp are some common claims. Let me list some out. Slip and falls. This is one of the most common claims, both for liability and for workers' compensation insurance. It's why it's so important to keep clear walkways, make sure that it's not wet, that you've got snow removal plans, whatever you need to do to keep clean, clear, well lit, even walkways. That's what you should do. Lifting. because your employees are going to be lifting clients, they're going to be moving them, they're going to be moving boxes, all kinds of different things. So lifting claims do happen. You should think through lifting safety. Client interaction. This one's really hard to manage because your clients are unpredictable. We both know that. Sometimes they're just going to push, sometimes they're going to throw a punch. So that particular type of claim can be very difficult to manage. And then vehicle accidents. When an employee's in a vehicle accident, that is workers' compensation insurance, and those can get expensive very quickly. It's part of why it's really important to have good fleet safety, driver training, and driver onboarding and driver selection programs. And so let's talk through how to get the best deal for workers' compensation insurance. It all comes down to choosing a good broker, somebody that knows the right class codes, can help you be serious with safety on your team. You need to, and you as an organization need to reduce turnover whenever possible. Newer employees are more likely to get hurt. They're also more likely to make mistakes with taking care of your clients. And lastly, another way to reduce workers' compensation costs is make sure to implement that return to work program. It's going to reduce the amount that is paid out in lost wages, and it's going to make underwriters more interested in quoting your account because they'll believe that you are serious about safety. All right. Those are the 6 categories of things you need to understand about workers' compensation insurance for your agency. I hope it helped. If it did, please hit like and subscribe. It helps other people like you find the content. And if you want to talk to me, my contact information is at insuranceforentrepreneurs.net. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please go build something great.